a goal to become sheriff. I always wanted to be a law enforcement officer and be the best law enforcement officer that I could. But my career took me along a path of promotion and leadership, and when the opportunity presented itself, I embraced it, but that wasn't one of my goals. I think, Frank, probably I was more influenced by my dad. He was a man of service, spent 20 years in the Navy and retired from there, and then went to work 20 additional years serving with Department of Defense Police. So I think that influence of, him in service, always being a man in uniform, sort of guided me in that direction. But I like to tell folks I've really never outgrew my cops and robbers days. I just always knew that I wanted to be a law enforcement officer.
When did you start your career?
Germanna Community College, when I had the opportunity to apply with the Stafford Sheriff's Office at the tender age of 19 and before being promoted to the road at the age of 20. And interestingly enough, Sheriff Ashby had to call the state to see if he could hire someone to go on the road at 20 years of age. So to enhance the service delivery to the community. But I think what I'm most proud of is the development of our people. A lot of investment has gone into training and development of the core mission and delivery of service to the community. Well, I've literally had hundreds of hours of leadership training, but I think the School of Hard Knocks has probably been the best to be a part of and not apart from the community. So they reach out to us for a number of events where we can be high-profile homicides, but one that comes to mind is the Crystal Jacobs homicide that occurred at the Earl's True Value hardware store at the post office. That was in the middle of the day. That was a brutal homicide that occurred back in the little post office at the rear of the store. And we really did not have a lot of information. Matter of fact, we had very little information. About the first week, it looked like this was going to be an investigation to go on for a long time. And we got that call from the lab that they had found DNA from a known suspect under Crystal Jacobs' nail. This day, I feel that Crystal Jacobs is responsible for solving that homicide, as she fought to the very end and was able to help identify the perpetrator of that crime. Time that a young man or woman, puts the badge on. I remember back to when I first joined the force that's a high, and that I made smiles on kids' faces, and they point and say, that's a policeman. I think my advice would be that God gave us 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason, and to listen. It's been something that I've continued to try to hone. I know I've got a year of projects that I need to do. But Frank, we're men of service, and I see that I will be serving others in just a different capacity. I most certainly will be serving the Lord in a different way as I close this chapter in service through law enforcement that I've always felt as a calling, and just be opening a new chapter to serve others. I was given the great privilege and wonderful opportunity to serve this community for the past 37 years. It's always been my desire to help make our community safer, to live and raise our families, not only as a sheriff, but also as a citizen. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank the Chamber of Commerce for this wonderful honor that you have bestowed upon me. I'd also like to thank the Chamber for the great leadership that you provide in our region to truly make it one of the best in the nation.